We felt good going into Watkins. We came out of Mid-Ohio and just kind of brushed it off, and we'll fix this onto the next. It's a different track, like most on the calendar. It's really fast, lots of high downforce corners. You've got the bus stop, the carousel, and then you've got these low-speed corners, what's called the boot, the laces, the toe, the heel. You've got this big contrast between driving those fast corners for most of the lap, and then you suddenly have to slow it down, be patient, and make it through those slow corners. And it's very different going into that than the previous tracks. Like Daytona, you've got the high-speed banking. It's a relatively simple track to drive, but you've got the endurance factor there, obviously. Sebring, really bumpy. This year was really hot, so that was a challenge as well. And then we go to Laguna, low grip, Mid-Ohio, lots of traffic, tight corners.
So we did a major overhaul before Watkins Glen. We did a lot of work to make sure the car was nice, ready to go. We'll get a setup sheet, to set the car up in the shop prior to going to the event, and it'll have like gear ratios on it, wing angles on it, like where the ballast should be in the car. And the biggest thing that was a learning curve for me was like just how picky this car is. Everything needs to be perfect on this, and the amount of detail you need to keep this car happy is the most I've ever seen.
Dwight's been improving since we started working with him, and it's one of the things that's really rewarding about LMP2 and some of the other Pro-Am categories is you get to improve someone's skills, and Dwight continuously improves. Every weekend he gets in the car, he's a little better, and it really showed at Watkins Glen.
Dwight killed it. I mean, he brought us up to P3 in his couple stints, and it was just incredible. Like, after he passed the first car, I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is great. And then there was the second one, and the third one, like, it wasn't even, he was just going for it. He's a rock star. 35 seconds is essentially the maximum load of fuel from empty, which you're never really running that close. So more likely than not, it's less than 35 seconds. And that's 4 tires, fuel, with a driver change. It's pretty good.
There's a saying in racing that you're only as good as your last event, and that kind of hits home with your focus going into the next event. You kind of get tunnel vision, the adrenaline's pumping, and you're focusing on the task ahead of you, changing the tires, getting the car fueled, getting it back on the ground, making sure everyone's clear and the car can go out. So there's a lot going on even then. It just makes you work that much harder to make sure that next weekend's going to be a good weekend. So it kind of lights the fire underneath. Like you either have a good weekend and you're riding that high and you want to feel that again at the following weekend, or you have a bad weekend and it's just making you work that much harder to strive for perfection. Next, we're going to Road America for another test. We've got 2 days up there, so we're going to go get drive time. We're going to do some setup stuff. We've got a list of things to look at for our balance change to verify that we've nailed what's causing that, and yeah, so we've got that, then an engine change, then the race, and then from there it's Petite. So yeah, back at it.
This car is like, it's either nice, organized, and detailed, or it's gonna kick you in the ass. We're mad. This we don't deserve this. This team deserves way more than this, and we're gonna take it. Yeah, we have every intention of showing everybody out there that we can perform and we will perform.